I ended up in special ed as an educator. They're looking for a position as a teacher. And when I graduated, I was ill-prepared for what I studied. I studied graphic design illustration. I had a major in art education. And so when I left, as I said, I was ill-prepared for that business side of the illustration industry, so I didn't do illustration at all. I didn't paint for 8 years after school. And so I went into teaching. And at that time, the only job that you could get as a teacher was substituting. And so I did a lot of substitute. I substitute second grade and high school. And then there was an opportunity to work at a hospital, working with patients who were suffering from various psychological psychosis. But they loved me. They loved me coming in and giving them this outlet. And I loved being there. It got to a point, though, as an educator, as someone who loves to see progress, there was little to be had there at the hospital. It became a revolving door. And so after too long, I needed something to make that transition. And children's books came in. And it came in a way that unexpected. I was approached by an agent, my agent Jeff Dwyer. He calls me up and says, Mr. Lewis, I saw the Artist magazine. You're on the cover, and there's an image inside of some kids. And I represent authors and illustrators of kids' books, and I want to know if you're interested in doing kids' books. I said, no. He said, no. I said, no, I'm a fine artist, not an illustrator. He said, what's the difference? And I went on to explain. And he says, you know what? You need to see what's going on in kids' books. I said, well, I have kids, and they love Eric Carle and Vera B. Williams and Stephen Kellogg. He said, well, do you know who Barry Moser is? No. Do you know who Chris Van Allsburg? No. What about Jerry Pinkney? No. He said, you need to see what's going on in kids' books. I said, oh, my lunch break, I went to a bookstore. I'm sitting there every day. I went there for 2 weeks straight, every day on my lunch break, to look at these books, to get this incredible edification. And after 2 weeks, I was hooked. I'm like, I got to do this work. So I called this guy back, Jeff, and I said, you know what? I misspoke. I got to do books. I am like, I can't, how did I say no to this? This is an incredible world. Because what I realized that I discovered that some of the best artwork in the country is being done in kids' books. So I called it, so when Jeff said, look, I already knew you were going to change your mind. So I took the liberty of sending your slides to 9 different publishers. So we'll wait to see what happens. So I said, okay. So he said, well, I said, well, I'm excited to get started. He says, well, hold on, young Turk, this doesn't work that way, because I have artists and illustrators, authors and illustrators that I love their work, but I can't find manuscripts and authors to pick them up. So we just have to wait to see what happens. Well, 3 or 4 days pass. He gives me a call back. He says, guess what happened? I said, what? He said, 6 of those 9 publishers that I sent your work to, 6 of them want you to do books for them. I said, really? What's that mean? He said, quit your job. So I quit my job, and the rest is history.